Yeah. Yeah. All right, Billy. So we got offensive lineman Billy Schrauth. What we're going to do here is we're going to ask questions first. So as these guys ask questions, you can look at them. If you have questions on Zoom, you can get her afterwards.
Okay.
Ready to go?
Sounds good.
All right. Go ahead.
Billy, I guess, how's the foot? And I guess what was the injury? What's kind of your timeline for that?
Yeah, the foot's doing good. Haven't been in any pain. Been rehabbing it back. We've got a great team here. Just been in the weight room with the guys recently. I mean, I've just been crouching around from station to station, wherever they're at, I'm at, and I don't want to miss a beat. And so far, I don't think I have. Yeah.
Awesome. And then you were just down in San Antonio for the All-American Bowl. I guess what you just get out of that whole week?
It was just good to be around some good competition, guys getting in your face and stuff. Like I didn't have much of that where growing up in high school ball, just because if they got in my face, I was going to do something. But these guys were a little bigger, a little stronger. So, I mean, it was a lot more fun, just harder hits and bigger guys. And it was good competition. So, I mean, I would say that was the biggest thing that I took from it.
Was it fun just kind of experiencing, I guess, the ups and downs of that week just because we were so dominant in that school?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that first practice kind of opened my eyes to, these guys are stronger than what I've went up against, but it didn't scare me. I've got the utmost confidence in my ability, and that'll always be.
Going back to your recruitment, I guess there were a couple of times where you almost committed to Notre Dame. I guess what kind of sold you up?
I would say there was just a lot of time where I couldn't go to, be on campus or go to meet with coaches in person and stuff. So, I mean, a lot of that kind of just, we were at a stalemate for a while, and I kind of knew which two I had between. And when we had that time period where we just couldn't do much, it was tough. It was hard, a lot of thinking, and that could have made it honestly go longer for me. And I think that's what did happen. I was just kind of bouncing back and forth. But yeah, I mean, I don't have any regrets with the decision I made. No.
And then kind of take me through that in with Marcus and Tommy when they spoke to see you. I guess what was the conversation like? What happened?
Yeah, it was great. They came into the house, and it was awesome. Like they wanted to meet my family and stuff like that. And we didn't have any of that with other coaches. Like they obviously wanted to meet our family and just kind of shake hands and go off. But it was different for them. They spent a lot of time with them, having conversations with them, really wanting to get to know them. And I think that was something that really stood out to me. And that's just kind of the culture that I think Coach Free and the other coaches that we have created. And I think it's a great thing for this university.
So how was the recruiting process from Coach Kelly? How did that go? How did that go through your mind as your?
Sorry, could you repeat that first part? Yeah.
How did the recruiting process go from Coach Kelly to the new coach? Didn't sway you one way or the other, or is there? Yeah, I mean, maybe a little, but I would say more than anything, it was just the realization of how great the culture is here, and that pursuit for excellence every day, not only with football but with education, social life, everything here. It's just awesome, and I think that's kind of what drew me here. Now, college is very new experience. What are your first impressions of being here now? I mean, talking for quite a while, now you're here.
Definitely. Yeah. I love it. This is what I've always wanted. The guys have made it so much easier to just not only the upperclassmen, but especially just hanging out with the boys in my class. It's been a lot of fun because I mean, you never get homesick because you're always with the guys, just making jokes and stuff like that. And then you got to wake up for workouts in the morning. And that adjustment, for me, it's been a lot of fun. I love it.
How's your position? Have you chatted with him already? And
definitely. I love Coach Easton. He's an intense guy, and I love that. You can tell his mentality is give everything you got, 110% all the time. And I love that. That's what I'm all about.
All right, got time for one question on Zoom before Billy's got to go. So Kevin Sinclair, go right ahead.
Yeah, you hear me, Billy?
Yep, I got you.
Okay, great. Yeah. Billy, I was curious about, within your recruitment, it seemed that, Tommy Reese was a pretty key figure there. He's a younger coach. He played at Notre Dame. I can kind of assume why that would be a draw for you. But, what was it about Coach Reese that kind of drew you to him? Maybe, how he kind of won you over or, got your faith in him?
Yeah, I would say it was when I first visited here, we were just playing a game and I could tell it like his competitive spirit was just different. And it was just a little game. And like I think that was just something that I saw and I was like, okay, this guy loves to compete. And so that's kind of how it started. I was like, we kind of had a little connection right there. I mean, because I was the same way. Like we were just playing cornhole or something like that, and we were just talking shit and stuff like that. And it was a lot of fun. And I think that connection right there just sprouted into a good relationship. And I think I don't know, just our connection throughout the whole process was something that helped out a lot.
Thanks, Billy. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet. Have a good one, guys.
Thanks, Billy.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Oh yeah, I got stuff once this. Yeah, bought some shades on Amazon.
What's up, Steve? How we doing?
How you doing?
Good.
Yeah. So Matt, how you doing?
We're gonna sit in here. We're gonna do questions in the room first, so you can look up at everybody as they're
Okay.
asking their questions, and then we'll finish up the questions on Zoom. Quarterback Steve Angeli. Room, go right ahead.
Steve, I guess going back to the start of your recruitment, how frustrating was it to go through that without being able to get to camps and stuff like that, and get exposure?
Yeah, it definitely was a little frustrating, knowing that I wasn't able to go out and, perform on a stage in front of coaches, kind of a hands-on evaluation, but, everybody was dealing with it. So, you had to find the next best way, making videos, sending them out, just trying to get your name out there. And, I'm thankful I went to, a school with such a great coach that has great connections and, a high reputation in college football with Coach Vito. So he really helped me a lot throughout the process, getting my name out there and, allowing me to showcase my talents.
And then what did you kind of learn about yourself and your team that in a way under?
I definitely learned, kind of the speed of stuff, what it's going to be like in college. It's just a little glimpse, being out there with the best guys in the country and just seeing how they operate and how they move and, the receivers, their quickness, the D-line, their get-offs, O-line, just really everything, is a lot more faster and a lot more, quicker tempo. But, really, I was able to hang in, pull my own weight and, do what I've been doing my whole career.
And then between your junior and senior year, where did you kind of feel your biggest jump was in your game?
I think my biggest jump was when, Coach Vito kind of, gave me an opportunity to, have a say in, the playbook and, the calls. And, that definitely made me feel a lot more comfortable, able to play a lot more faster and play out of instinct. I think that was one of the biggest jumps I made because I was able to just go out there, play, and, knowing what I liked and what I didn't like, and being able to know the situation, what call was coming next and, where to attack.
And then I know you've only been here a couple of weeks, but how Tyler and Drew, can I take you under their wing?
They've been great. I'm really thankful to be a part of that quarterback room. Drew and Tyler, any questions I have, always reaching out to them. Questions with the playbook, they're always there to help me. Watching film with them and, just starting to continue to learn the playbook and get a better grasp of it. They've been there every step of the way for me.
And then what made Coach Reed so trustworthy during the process? Because I know there are a couple of times where he may have looked at a quarterback too to bring in and stuff, but it seemed like you had full trust in him. What was telling you to be through that?
Yeah, just knowing that, I was the first guy they offered and, trusting Coach Reed's evaluation, but my conversations with him, he's always been real and honest and upfront with me. Even if it was tough stuff, he had to tell me. I just respected him so much, and knowing that, we had such a great relationship, and him being able to tell me it is what it is, and the real stuff. He'd never lie or sugarcoat anything. He would just tell me how it was, and I really respected him for that.
Oh. Thanks, sir. How has your position and position coach and teammates, how do they help you understand the culture and learning, or how do they get into it?
Yeah, Drew, Tyler, Coach Drees, our first meeting, even Ronnie, just sitting down with them and them telling me how things work. And then finally, the only real way that I've experienced is getting in the weight room, and getting with those guys and seeing how Coach Bayless works and just knowing, what to do, what not to do, and how things work here. They kind of told me a little bit of it, prepared me for it. But, once I got in there and, some mistakes I made, they were right there to help me and correct me. So, they've been really great to me.
What are your goals this season?
Just really do whatever the team asks for me. Whatever they need me to do, I'm going to do it. Contribute to that quarterback room and do whatever I can to make this team better.
All right, we'll go to Zoom. Mike Singer, go right ahead.
Hey, Steve, how you doing?
What's up, Mike?
Hey, in following your high school careers, I would say 3 words to kind of describe it might be calm, cool, and collected. Can you kind of tell me where that's come from? Like, how did you kind of get that demeanor, to play the quarterback position?
I think that's credited to my family. Growing up with my parents, my 2 older brothers, just, they played sports growing up and, learning from them and, seeing all their success and how they carried themselves. I just kind of took whatever I could from them and, learning from my parents and, how they trusted me throughout the process and allowed me to make decisions for myself and supported me, the entire way. Just gave me a lot of confidence and a lot of trust in anything that I wanted to do when it came to football or life decisions. So I think I just carried that over into the recruiting process, into my high school career and everything that I've done up until now.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, Steve, you're all set, man. Thanks,
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Steve.
Of course.
Thank you. See any goldfish lately?
I haven't seen any. It doesn't. There's definitely not having around South Bend. I'll be back home.
You guys gonna be interviewing people for a while?
Up until 1 o'clock.
Okay, perfect. Do you mind if I pause in the background? Or?
Oh, you're fine.
Okay, thank you.
What's up, Josh? How we doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Oh, yeah, well, yes.
Either's fine.
Okay.
No, you got to think.
Oh, yeah, you do.
We'll be
For the
Josh.
We'll be Josh.
roster with Josh.
Just Josh. All right, I'm gonna change it right on Zoom right now. All right, so Josh, what we got going on is we're gonna have questions in the room first, so you can look up at everybody as they're asking their questions.
Okay.
And then we'll finish up the questions on Zoom.
All right.
Ready to go?
Yes, sir.
All right, room, go right ahead.
Josh, I guess what did you kind of learn about yourself down in San Antonio during that week?
Yeah, that was a very fun week. Just being able to work with a ton of different guys with lots of talent all over the country. Being able to work with the coaches too. I mean, I think it was definitely fun being able to go prove yourself in front of all these coaches and like all the media that was there. It was a super fun weekend, that's for sure.
And then now that your quarterback days are over, I guess, is there a specific area of focus at linebacker you kind of want to work on, I guess, during spring?
Yeah, I mean, anything really. I mean, right now I'm just trying to put some weight on and like maintain some speed, and then we'll see whoever they bring in for a linebacker coach in DC will find the right fit.
And then have they picked you another spot yet?
No, not yet.
And then I guess just kind of lastly, for me, Coach Freeman, you committed somewhat early. I guess what kind of sold you on him, just as a person and a coach?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, he's a great guy. He's a family man. He's got 6 kids, so he treats everyone here like family. Like no matter what, if you need anything, you can reach out to him and he'll be there. So just knowing that someone like that is like the head coach, that's the kind of guy you want to play for.
How have your teammates and position coach, how have they helped you learn the Notre culture and how are you going about that?
It's been good. There's a ton of different leaders on this team. I mean, especially the old, I'm not old, but the linebacker class and everything. We got like Bo, JD, Jack. They've all been there helping me along the way. I mean, I've known them for a while now, so just being able to have that connection with all of them and have them like show, like you said, like the culture and everything. It's been awesome.
What are your goals for your first year here, and how are you gonna get there?
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna try and put on some weight and maintain some speed and all this. Just go out and like prove myself. So yeah.
All right, we'll go to Zoom. Ashton Pollard, go right ahead.
Hey, Josh. So you touched on this a little bit, but the linebacker group, the few of you that are already on campus, are very highly touted and one of the best position groups in this recruiting class. How have you guys learned from each other initially, going from, I assume, lower competition levels in high school and just immediately being around each other?
It's been a lot of fun. I mean, each guy here, I mean, we're all super close already. Just being able to hang out after like workouts and all this, we'll be hanging out just in the dorm room or like going to get food. But I mean, it's a lot of talent all over. So just being able to push each other in workouts and all that, it's been awesome.
Kevin Sinclair, you're next. Go ahead.
Yeah, Josh, I obviously watched a lot of your high school games. It seemed like you were never coming off the field, dual threat quarterback, a lot of energy exerted that way. How do you feel being able to, at the college level, being able to just zero in on one specific position, that being your focus and kind of not being spread out thin?
Yeah, I think it'll be huge. I mean, there's a lot of talent all over the field, so being able to like give it your all just on one side, I think it's gonna be huge, especially with whoever they bring in for the linebacker coach. Just being able to build a connection with him and just go out and improve yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And then also, I understand Traverse City Central, where you came from, had one of the best strength programs, in the Midwest, maybe even in the country. And how do you feel that kind of helped you prepare for what are, as I understand it, pretty grueling workouts under Matt Balis?
Yeah, I think it definitely prepared me for it. We do a lot of the same lifts. We record our lifts for the velocity and all this sort of stuff. Same thing that we do here. Obviously this is a little more intense that Coach Balis brings, which is awesome. But yeah, I think it definitely prepared me for sure.
Fantastic. Thanks, Josh.
All right, Josh, you're all set. Thanks, man.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, Nolan, you're up next.
How's it going, guys?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing great.
All right, we got linebacker Nolan Ziegler here. Nolan, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do questions in the room first. You can look at everybody as they're asking their questions, and we'll finish up with questions on Zoom. Ready to go?
Sweet, yeah.
Cool. Room, go ahead.
Nolan, some of the earlier reports are that you impressed with your speed. I guess, is that kind of surprising to you at all, or were you kind of expecting that?
A little bit. I've worked on it a lot. Especially with the position I want to play, and I feel like it is just because you see all the fast guys on the team and doing well against them, and so yeah, it definitely surprised me a little bit.
And then you and Josh and Billy were kind of in the same boat, just going down to San Antonio, facing quite a bit better competition than what you're used to. I guess, how do you kind of adjust to that? What did you get out of that?
You just go out and do the same thing you've always done, and you just play fast, especially it's playing just the one position. And so I felt like it was not nearly as tiring. And so, it's just really just a speed difference a little bit, and linemen are bigger. And so, you just go out there and do your thing.
And then as just kind of like the unofficial leader of the class, I guess, what was that couple week period between the Brian Kelly leaving and Freeman taking over, just trying to keep everybody in the class? What was that kind of like for you?
I just think we all stuck together, made it through it, and we all really respected Freeman, and he's the head coach now, and so he's going to be with the program in a really good position. And so I feel like we all made it through it, and we're all together in this thing now, and so build this championship team.
How the culture that you're being taught at Notre Dame, and how was that helping you reach your goals for the first year?
I think the guys, all the older guys on the team, just create such a hardworking culture. Same thing with the strength coaches. The football coaches, they all always pushing us to be the best, and I love that. And it just translates to the football field when you do it in the weight room and off the field. So,
what's the most difficult part of the transition from high school to college here in Winter East South Bend?
I think the responsibility of doing it on your own, but I feel like my high school and school part and football really prepared me. The strength program and just how hard, challenging high school. They had us have a lot of responsibility too. So I think I set up pretty well.
Okay. We're going to go to Zoom. Len Clark, go ahead.
Nolan, piggybacking on the question on goals, can you give us some insight as a student athlete what your short-term goals are, both on and off the field, in addition to your long-term goals?
I really just want to prove myself to the team that they'll respect me and know I'm all in for the team. And I think it helps translate to you being a captain here and win a national championship for a long-term goal. And yeah, that's my long-term goal. So I think if I do the things right now, it'll lead me to the future goals.
Kevin Sinclair, you're up next. Go ahead.
Hey, Nolan. Curious, as an early entry freshman coming in, who are maybe some of the older players, whether they're linebackers or elsewhere, who've either maybe given you some advice or made an impression on you so far at Notre Dame?
I think a lot of guys have. When you're in the locker room, you talk to all the guys, but with linebackers wise, JD, Jack Kaiser, Maris, Bo Bauer, those guys I'm really close with just because I've known them for a while being committed here. And so there just shows you the ins and outs that you don't get shown by the coaches and what the coaches expect, but there's just different things that they can teach you that help. And so I think it's really them that have helped me a lot.
Right. And then, at the high school level, you had your high school coach, Todd Colster, really unique experience. He was an offensive coordinator at the, college level and that sort of thing. How is having him as your coach kind of an advantage for you in terms of him helping you get prepared for a school like Notre Dame?
I really think he knows what they expect, and he's ran the program like that since I've been there, and he expects the same things that these coaches here expect out of me. And so I think that really helped prepare me in the weight room, and I think it'll help me prepare on the field. And so when he expects the best out of you, he's all about mental toughness, which I'm really big about, and what they're big about here. And so I really think I give a lot of credit to him and how he prepared me to have success here.
Great. Thanks, Nolan.
All right, we'll go to Ashton Pollard. Go ahead, Ashton.
Hey, Nolan. So this class of linebackers, the four of you that are on campus, was very highly touted. I'm just curious what you guys have learned from each other so far, and what your relationship is like with your fellow 2022 linebackers.
I think they're all great guys, and we all spend a lot of time together. Like Josh was saying, I heard him saying, we eat together. We're all in the same thing together. We'll go to the dining halls after workouts. We'll go get something to eat. We have a lot of classes together. And so I just really think we bond over a lot of the time that spent outside of the weight room, and we bond inside the weight room. Just, when you, misery makes company. And so when you're putting in all the work together, that's hard that you bond together. And so I just think it made us really close.
Nolan, you're all set, man. Thanks. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Nolan.
Jaylen, what's up, man?
Not much, how are you?
Good. As you've seen it kind of going on so far, a few questions in the room first. We'll look up at everybody as they're asking questions, and we'll finish up with questions on Zoom. You ready to go?
Mhm.
All right, linebacker Jaylen Sneed, go ahead.
Jaylen, how you adjusted to the weather from
Uh, hasn't been the best, but I just kind of stay inside, so hasn't been too terrible.
That's fair. And then I guess how much of an impact did BJ Payne have on your growth as a young man, but also on the field?
First, couple weeks into freshman year, he told me I was gonna be something special one day. And after that day, he took me in as one of his own and just has taught me up and taught me how to be a man and just grown me from what I was freshman year to what I am today.
When he told you that, did you believe him at the time?
No, definitely not.
And then, was there a moment either during high school or with him where you kind of realized it was coming to fruition?
Definitely sophomore year when I was able to I was just as good as the seniors that year. So it just helped me and I just believed it. I just kept working hard until it actually happened.
And then you probably known Coach Freeman longer than anybody on the team.
Yeah.
Just because he offered you so early. I guess, what about him have you learned about his personality and everything through the years, and what made you want to play for him?
Definitely he's a down to earth, humble guy. He's taught me a lot, even though I've only known him for 2 years or so. Getting to meet his family and how cool his family was a great experience. And just him being a great guy and a father figure to me.
And then how have Matt Bayless's workouts kind of gone for you so far?
They've been hard, but I feel like there's nothing that I can't do if I keep working hard at it.
As a new kid on the block, how has your teammates, position coach, how are you learning about learning football?
I don't have a position coach yet, so I don't know. But the teammates have took me in as one of their own. They've taught me a lot about family and how the Notre Dame football program is run. They've just taught me that you just got to put your head down and keep working hard.
And what are your goals for this year, and how are you going to get there?
My goal is definitely to be maybe a player in rotation this year. I plan to get there by just working hard in workouts, trying to be the best I can be, just being explosive and just working hard.
We're going to go to Zoom. Ashton Pollard, go ahead.
Hey, Jaylen. So your class of linebackers, the four of you enrolled early and you've been there. You get this extra semester together. What's it been like competing with those guys, and what's your relationship like with them?
We're definitely like brothers. We've been talking for like a couple months now on our group chat. And once we got here, we just all meshed together. And I feel like competing against them is like a great competition because they're all just as good and all work just as hard as me.
All right, Kevin Sinclair, go ahead.
Yeah, Jaylen, watching your high school career, you played multiple positions, defensive end, safety, linebacker. This last season, you're playing safety, linebacker, playing quarterback as well. Really spread out there. How does it feel to sort of be able to just hone in and focus on just one role now? Is that something that's sort of, exciting to you, a bit of a relief to just kind of focus on that one position?
I think it's great for me because like I've never really got to play just linebacker, and I want to know how good I can get at just playing linebacker, practicing one position and just going hard at one position. I think it'll be good for me knowing that I haven't reached my full potential yet.
Right on, and thanks. And what's been some of the more challenging aspects of your time at Notre Dame so far, whether it's, workouts, the weather, what have you?
The most challenging part has definitely been probably the Friday list.
Right. Thanks, Jaylen.
All right, Jaylen, you're all set, man. Thanks. Appreciate you.
Now that's how you do it.
That's what I did Wednesday and all day yesterday. I'm not gonna go out and sleep for it.
It's just like,
I don't. Okay.
his high school coach was like,
I gotta touch base.
Iowa man.
What's up, Joey?
Whoa,
How you doing?
good,
Ready for the hot seat? It's not really that hot.
of course.
All right, so Joey, what we got going on is we'll have questions in the room first, so you can look up at everybody as they're asking their questions. Then we'll finish up with questions on Zoom.
All right.
There you go. Okay. Joey Tanona, go ahead.
Joey, I guess where was kind of like the biggest jump in your game over the last year?
The biggest jump in my game over the past year. I don't know. I would just say I've gotten a lot quicker, better, I guess, learning to use my hands and yeah.
And then I know he hasn't been here long, but I guess what are your first impressions of Coach Easton?
He's been great. I mean, I love the intensity he brings, and he's just one of those guys, you know, like hearing him talk and all that, like as an offensive lineman, you're like, gosh, I want to run through a brick wall right now. So, yeah.
And then speaking of brick walls, I guess, what's your first impressions of these Matt Bayless workouts?
I mean, they've been a little difficult, but I mean, that's how you get better is, you know, you got to push yourself, and that's what he does. He's going to push you every single day, and pushes you to, I mean, your breaking point, and it's been great.
And then have any of the veteran offensive linemen kind of taken you under their?
I mean, all of them have. I mean, every single person from veteran to like sophomores, I mean, have been great. I mean, all of us are really close as an offensive line, so it's great.
Okay, what have your teammates and coaches been teaching you about Notre Dame and the program here and how to excel at it?
I guess to always be doing the right thing, do things when you're supposed to, do things the best you can, and you'll be all right.
What's your mindset then on how to get there, how to accomplish the goals that you have yourself?
My goals is just my mindset is to do everything to the best of my possible physical ability, mental ability, and take it past that point and dig down and find something in yourself to go past that point.
So unit has always more consistently been a source of strength for the Notre Dame program. What do you say you bring to the room?
Bring to the room. I mean, I would just say, I mean, I consider myself a effort guy, so I just always give 110%, and that can go to, I can say the same for everyone else in that room. So it's just building upon that and building upon that standard we have.
And then was staying in Indiana important to you?
Staying in Indiana, I mean, I would say so. I mean, a lot of people don't like to say Indiana, but you know, because it's always cold and dark here, but been here my whole life and I love it. So.
All right, going to Zoom, Kevin Sinclair, go ahead.
Yeah, Joey, throughout your high school career, you played tackle, then you played center, you played tackle. You certainly seem like you could handle guard. Just kind of curious what your thoughts are on, you know, your potential position fit in college, and whether there's, you know, maybe a specific role you think you could end up at, or is it just purely a wait and see, and that's not really something you're too concerned about?
I'll play anywhere. I just want to play football. I mean, that's all I want to do is just play football. Don't go rare. I mean, I could play punt returner or kicker. I just want to play football. So.
Yeah, gotcha. And then, you know, you were a prospect who committed to Notre Dame really early. Would you say, looking back on that, it was a pretty relatively easy decision for you?
Yeah, I would say it was a pretty easy decision. So, I mean, it's just a special place here, and there's no place I'd rather be.
And nice to be close to home, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Joey.
No problem.
Len Clark, you're up next. Go ahead, Len.
Joey, can you give us some insight into the offensive line? What's the one skill and characteristic that's really been embedded into you since getting on campus? And then communication has been something that the offensive line has talked about. What are you learning about communicating with your teammates?
I've just learned that getting to know everyone is, you know, embracing this brotherhood that we have, and being close with each other and doing everything together as a group. And it's been helpful.
Ashton Pollard, you're up next.
Oh, sorry, my hand was not raised. That's weird.
Oh, sorry, then that's on me. All right, Joe, you're all set.
All right.
Sweet, thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Jaden, what's up, man? How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. So as you can see, we're kind of doing a little hybrid here. We're gonna ask questions in the room first. You can look up as they ask their questions.
Gotcha.
And then we'll do Zoom afterwards. You ready to go?
Yes, sir.
All right, Jaden Mickey, room, go ahead.
Jayden, you committed without visiting. I guess what made you comfortable with that? And I guess looking back on it, how happy are you with that decision?
Really understanding where Notre Dame could take you as a person and player. With Coach Freeman and the new staff in, I knew this was the right fit as far as the scheme and playing for a coach like Coach Freeman, and then understanding that Notre Dame is the University of Notre Dame. Like, it's one of the best places to be.
And then did you play nickel in high school at all?
I've covered slots. I haven't really played any zone nickel, but in 7-on-7, we did all of that, so I know how.
I guess how comfortable are you with that? And I mean, what are some of the challenges? And I guess what makes that position fun?
I love nickel. I love every position, really, corner, nickel, safety. But nickel's fun because you get to kind of lurk around, steal some picks in zone coverage. And, a lot of the best receivers in today's college football are in the slot. So playing nickel has always been fun.
And then you obviously played some of the best competition in the country out of California. How does that kind of prepare you for this?
It's definitely, you get to feel battle tested. You haven't been playing against kids that aren't at the level you're at now. So it's not gonna be my first time going against a D1 athlete. So it definitely gives me some confidence stepping into this atmosphere.
And then you'll face some of the same players you faced in high school.
Right.
Because they went to some other schools out west. I guess, are you looking forward to that?
Definitely. Definitely looking forward to those games and showing them where they should have been.
What are your teammates and coaches teaching you about the culture here at Notre Dame?
Really, you have to attack everything. That's something Coach Baylor says all the time. You got to attack. Whether it's weight room, running, you have to attack. That's one of the main things that even the players, they know. That's what they try and instill in us as young players. You must attack everything.
What are your goals for this year?
Definitely want to get on the field. Whether that's corner, nickel, punt return, kick return. I just want to help this team win a national championship. But help my seniors get out of here with the ring. But wherever coach feels best for me to play, that's where I'll step in to play.
Any direct conversations with Coach Freeman that kind of shaped your opinion or his impact?
On coming here?
Like his impact or coming here?
Oh yeah, definitely. I actually committed on the first Zoom with him. It was like 20 minutes, and we were just talking. And I've been on the Zooms with Coach Mickens and Coach Polian when he was here, so I had already knew this was one of my top schools. And then once I heard everything from Coach Freeman, I committed on the Zoom. I didn't even tell my parents yet, so I knew I was locked in.
All right, Kevin Sinclair, go ahead.
Yeah, Jaden, early on when you were a recruit, before you had committed to Notre Dame, you mentioned that you were looking at very likely leaving the West Coast to go to school, like going somewhere far away. Number one, can you talk about kind of why that was? And two, how are you liking the Midwest so far?
Definitely going far away from home can develop you as a young man. Being away from your parents, you can't just drive home on the weekends to go see them. So it definitely builds some structure and living your life on your own. I loved it out here so far. It's not as bad as everybody makes it seem. You still see the sun. So people make it seem like you'll never see the sun and it's going to be sad, but you still see the sun. It snows a lot, it's cold, but you wear a couple jackets and it's all good.
And through your recruitment, Coach Mike Mickens, I mean, I'm sure you met and were recruited by, a wide variety of cornerbacks, coaches. What was it about Mike Mickens that kind of drew you to him, the way he sort of maybe won you over, so to speak?
Definitely him playing the game before. He was a good corner when he was in college. And having a DB coach that's played the position before is definitely one of the most comforting things. Because if you're having a bad day or you're having a good day, they know what it feels like. They know how to coach that. So that was definitely one of the main factors that pulled me.
Great, thanks.
Len Clark, go ahead.
Jed, in addition to honing your skills on the field, what are you learning about the position in the film room? And just from a mental aspect, what are you learning about the position?
One thing I've always known was you never stop learning in this game. And as a DB, there's so much you have to see on the field, off the field, in the film room. So just tapping into the mental aspect of the game really has been one of the things I've been doing and look forward to continue doing.
Jaden, you're all set, man.
All right,
Appreciate
cool.
you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Jay.
We're gonna give you some competition as well. So.
Aiden, what's up, man?
Hi, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Doing all right, all right.
All right. So what we're doing is we're gonna do questions in the room first. So you can look up at everybody as they ask their questions. We'll finish up with questions on Zoom.
All right, perfect.
Room, go right ahead. Aiden Gobaira.
Aiden, you were one of the best pass rushers down in San Antonio. I guess that kind of surprised you, and I guess what you kind of take away from that week down there.
Well, my week in San Antonio was a blast. Like, it was really a place where I could see how my skills really shaped up against elite guys like that. And I don't want to say I was the best pass rusher or one of the best pass rushers there, because there were some crazy guys. Like, you got Deny, Dennis Sutton, like you got Marvin Jones, like Mikael Williams, like those guys are like elite. So like watching them play, trying to take a couple moves from them, it was really cool.
And then you got to play inside a little bit. Like, was
Got to.
kind of take away from that.
Yeah, a little forced inside over here and there, but it was fun. I mean, it's new experiences. I mean, if I'm trying to play, I can play anywhere. Like, if they need me to play tackle, I'll play tackle. My like 230-pound playing tackle, just trying to move people around.
And then your weight gain between your sophomore and I guess your junior year was big. I guess, how did that kind of help you?
Oh, I mean, of course, adding that weight was just tremendous. And then like my speed and my power ability, like during my sophomore year, I was more of like a speed, just try to get around people. But during my junior year, I was able to like threaten to like bull rush and really get in people's spaces and then work and move outside too. So just added versatility to my game.
And then I know he hasn't been here long, but what is your kind of first impressions of Coach Washington?
Oh, I'm super excited to get working with Coach Washington. I mean, I met with him one-on-one a little bit, and he talked to me about how he was really into film. He's a big family guy, and that I heard from my roommate Josh, who had a lot of recruiting talks with Coach Washington, that he's a really great guy and that I really should get to know him. So that's my plan: really get to know him and learn from him.
For the coaching changes in your recruiting, what did that teach you about Notre Dame?
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about the new coach?
Well, of course, I love Coach Freeman. That was the one person that had to be here. Like, Coach Freeman being here was perfect. Like, that was the right decision, and I'm super excited that he got that job. Sorry, can you follow up again? That one.
What are your teammates teaching you about Notre Dame and the culture here? You know, how you can excel?
Well, seeing like older guys like Isaiah Foskey and like Justin, like those guys, like trying to like they're setting the example, and I'm trying to like reach that. their level of play. Like in drills, they're always going 100. They're always the fastest, always first. Like I'm trying to compete with them, get to that level, and seeing them work hard every day is pushing me to work hard every day.
What are some of the immediate things that you feel like you bring to the work, some things that you look to grow in as a player?
Well, I'm trying to grow as much as possible. Like I don't think I know anything. I'm starting from ground zero here, so I'm trying to just take in all the information I can from Coach Washington, from older guys like Isaiah Foskey. I'm just trying to be a sponge, absorb everything.
And then as far as your learning style, do you feel like you'll be getting more from the coaching staff, from players, or is it a little bit of scrap?
I think it's going to be both, because it's a brotherhood here. Like every guy next to you is going to try and help you be the best that you can be, and of course the coaches are going to try to have you excel. So.
And then anything you grab from your lacrosse playing, whatever that may help you?
I mean, of course, just my footwork. I mean, that's what I got to say about lacrosse. I mean, I love lacrosse still. Like I'll be seeing like them practice, and I'll see them walking around. I'll get like fanboy over them more than like sometimes the football players, just because like I want to immerse myself in the lacrosse program too a little bit, but we'll see how that goes.
All right, we'll go to Zoom. Kevin Sinclair, go right ahead.
Yeah, Aiden, you seem like a pretty eager guy in terms of learning, developing, those types of things. Isaiah Foskey's coming back. He's considered, preseason to be one of the best defensive ends coming back. How do you feel about that in terms of kind of an advantage for you as a real fine defensive end to kind of, be an example for you, a guy to learn from?
Oh, I mean, I'm super excited that Isaiah Foskey's returning. Just seeing him like work in like the weight room, like first off, about how he's always pushing himself. Like I was working with him the other day, and every rep, he's getting every rep 100%. It pushes me to do that as well. So he's going to make me better by just setting his example.
Yeah, and also talking with your high school defensive line coach, Adam Neff, he talked about getting you together with your former teammate who's a little older than you from Chantilly, the offensive tackle at Stanford. And then you got to work against him. How is that in terms of kind of giving you an idea of what, a Power 5 offensive lineman was going to be like?
So like that was my first like exposure to like a big offensive lineman, really, like before the All-American Bowl. So going against him, seeing like what moves work, and it was great work. It was pretty much just like one. So working on like speed, I was working on like different like type things that could maybe work. It was great experience.
And lastly, you talked about, the importance of adding that size, and then you talked about adding, working on your bull rush and such last off season. What's kind of next? What's something maybe you're hungry to get after, or maybe a couple things if it's more than one?
Well, I mean, I don't really know what's next. I'm just trying to develop as much as possible over around. Like I want to be able to play anything. Like they want to put me on strong side end, I'll play strong side end. You want to put me at tackle, I'll play tackle. Anything. I want to be well versed in everything.
Right. Thanks.
All right, Len Clark, go ahead.
Aiden, you've mentioned a lot of things physically that you're doing to prepare for your position, but what about the mental aspect? What are you learning about the position from a mental aspect and off the field as well?
Oh, well, I mean, I'm learning that this is going to be a tough road, especially like starting in the weight room and getting onto the field, like with conditioning. Like it's all mental. Like I can't think that this is going to be too hard for me. Like I always got to go into a workout thinking that this is what I have to do. Like this is my job, and this is my job. So it's really just that mindset of like, I'm always going to go 100% no matter what, even if it seems impossible, it's just going to go. Just going to have to go.
And what are the upperclassmen learning from you?
Wow. I mean, I don't know if they're learning anything from me quite yet, but I'm learning so much from them.
Thank you.
All right, Aiden, you're all set. Thanks.
All right.
Appreciate
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. All good? Yeah.
Unmute you right here. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing questions in the room first. So you can look out to the room as they're asking questions and we'll go to Zoom. All right, ready to go? All right, Jaden Bellamy, room, go ahead.
Jaden, you're listed as a cornerback on the roster. I guess how comfortable do you feel there after kind of playing all over the secondary in high school?
It feels very comfortable being starting off with being at a corner. But I feel like as we go, I feel like they'll move me around and stuff like that to get me around the ball more. So I feel like that would make me feel more comfortable.
And then obviously everybody knows about your speed, but what do you kind of feel like is an underrated part of your game?
Underrated. I probably say my physicality because I feel like people look at me as small, but really I feel like I'm pretty explosive. So I feel like that's a really underrated part about me.
And then I think most people know that your dad played in the league for 14 years. I guess, did he have any advice before you started this semester?
Not really. He knows ever since I was like a junior, I feel like he just let me be and sometimes he'll give me some tips here and there, but I feel like ever since I was a junior, he just let me be. So that's how it is.
And then obviously this is way down the line, but if you beat his interception record, what would those records mean?
I mean, me and him always talk trash, so I feel like he won't hear at the end of it. So that's definitely he won't hear the end of it. So I feel like that's how it is.
Being new on campus this year for first semester, what's the biggest challenges you're facing this year with teammates, and what are you learning from them, your coaches?
The biggest challenge is probably coming from high school and then coming to college and working out. I feel like the workouts are a little harder, but I feel like it's all a mentality part to it because when you're tired, you just have to keep digging. So I feel like that's the most challenging part for me.
What how do your teammates help you get through these tough days?
They always guide me. They always talk to me and guide me through it, and they always want to see you get better. I feel like Houston is the biggest part as I got here. So I feel like he's the biggest impact because he always talks to me and always want to see me get better in the weight room and on the field. So I feel like he has been the biggest impact.
In a transition into a higher level competition, obviously you're an athlete from high school. Do you think more of a challenge is going to be matching up athletically or sort of the mental side of the game? Sort of
I probably feel like both because being that the players have been here for 2, 3, 4 years and also even went through the whole season. I feel like athletically they already know what it takes. So and mentally, I feel like they already been through all the workouts and all the bad Bayless workouts. So I feel like they already have that mindset to get through it. So I feel like that's the biggest part.
And as far as like studying the game, consider yourself a student of the game, like film things like that.
Yeah, I always like to watch the best corners. Sometimes I like to watch the underrated corners, or even the safeties too. I like watching football too. So the first thing I look at when I watch a football game is I look at the DB. So I feel like me being able to watch all that and watch and film and stuff like that, I feel like that'll take me pretty far.
And then how do you feel you can contribute sort of immediately, and what are some areas that you feel that you would like to develop going forward?
Place I like to develop is probably my strength right now, but I feel like as I go on, I feel like it'll be my footwork because I feel like the receivers and now are getting way better and like they're coming up with new routes and all that. So I feel like footwork and strength will be a big part.
Kevin Sinclair, go ahead.
Yeah, Jaden, looking back on it, I was wondering if you could sort of sum up when it was you kind of came to the decision that Notre Dame was where you wanted to go and maybe sum up why that
was. Pretty much because they're recruiting me as a corner and a safety, and as they were looking at my film, they could see me playing nickel and corner and safety. So I feel like that was the biggest part. Being able to move around the ball and like, being around the ball is fun. So I feel like that was the biggest part.
Fantastic. And then, getting back to the switch in the coaching staff, Coach Marcus Freeman, now the head coach. I remember you speaking highly of him long before that happened. What are your thoughts on, having this, young coach that you're pretty excited about from the get-go?
I'm very excited because I feel like he was a big part. Being him, O'Leary, and Mickens, he was a big part. So him getting that job was like very exciting because He's very funny. He's a down to earth guy, so I feel like he'll really guide everybody on this team. So I feel like he'll do a very good job.
Great, thanks.
Mike Singer, you're up next. Go ahead.
Hey, Jaden, before you enrolled at Notre Dame, I interviewed your dad, and I just went back to make sure I had this quote correctly. He said, "I'm not going to lie, Jaden is a much better athlete than me." What is your reaction to hearing that from your pops?
That's very hard to believe because me and him, we had like this one, not an argument, but it was like a back and forth conversation of who was better when they were 17. And he was just talking about how he was long jumping far and dunking the basketball and stuff like that. So I feel like him saying that is very like, it's comfortable saying, but I know he wouldn't say that to my face.
All right, thanks, Jaden.
All right, Jaden, you're all set, man. Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jay.
Thank y'all.
You not dunking? You not dunking?
Sure, I'm done. Have a great day though.
Thanks, Jaden. Junior's gonna be the last one, so no generic either, but definitely everybody else. What's up, Junior? How we doing? All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do questions in the room first. You can look up at everybody as they're
Okay.
asking the questions, and then we'll go to Zoom afterwards. And if you want to pronounce your last name so everyone can say it correctly.
Junior Tuihalamaka.
There it is. All right, room, go right ahead.
Junior, what areas of your game did you feel like you grew the most in over your senior year?
Being able to definitely change, having better change of direction, being able to have better keys and understanding how I can, be able to play downhill faster than I was the previous years, and definitely better myself from coverage wise as well. I played a lot of man coverage this year, so being able to match up with quick running backs and adjusting from there. So.
And then how did you feel like the competition out in Cali helped you prepare for this moment?
A lot of people underestimate the amount of talent that's in California. So definitely be able to, the physicality and everything that I get from over there is definitely be able to transfer it over here to next levels.
And then Coach Freeman made you a big priority once he got hired. I guess what's your relationship with him, and I guess what made you comfortable with him as your coach?
Definitely a really strong relationship. Be able to understand that I'm a real big priority of being able to be that that big guy in the middle, taking on blitzes and blocks for everything.
And then what are your first impressions of Billy's workouts?
Billy's workouts. It's really brutal. It's not the easiest, but definitely is going to make me the better player than that I was before. So be able to be stronger, faster in every aspect of the game. So.
What are your coaches, teammates, what do they teach you about the culture here in Notre Dame?
Community, being able to, no matter where I'm from or like how I look or whatsoever, everyone's so welcoming and be able to, you know, take me in and understand what culture I'm from, and be able to understand why they also came to Notre Dame, and understand that they can also, you know, help me with whatever that's needed from me. So yeah.
What are your goals this year for yourself, for your team?
Definitely be able to, you know, play with whatever position they need me to play at, or even on special teams or anything, as long as I get on the field and making sure that I'm able to better the team in every way I can be. So.
All right, we're gonna go to Zoom. Kevin Sinclair, go ahead.
Hey, Junior, I know, you know, you have a bit of a rugby background. I know that kind of at a young age, you were playing with, you know, 20-year-olds and stuff like that at tournaments. And you're an inside linebacker. How do you feel like rugby sort of contributed to your development as an inside linebacker early on?
A lot of different aspects of the rugby game definitely helped me with everything I was doing on the football field. Being able to play downhill and understand how to tackle, and definitely better myself with physicality of not being scared of whoever's in front of me. So.
Right on. And myself included, a lot of people felt like you really had a big improvement between your junior and senior seasons. And I know that you do kind of a variety of different training where you're from. And can you talk a bit about that? What you worked on, how you worked on it, how you made that big leap between those two seasons?
Yeah, so I definitely went into a lot of you know, agility workouts, being able to with a lot of change of direction with track, and going to different workouts of sports academy, and with my uncle as well, to better myself with strength, and be able to maintain my weight, but also gain muscle. So yeah.
And then lastly, you know, long before Notre Dame had offered you, it was clear that you had quite a bit of interest in Notre Dame, and that seemed to have been in you for quite a long time. And you know, as a guy from, you know, California, that's not typical exactly. And can you explain that a little bit? What it was about Notre Dame that kind of, you know, piqued your interest before they'd even offered?
Definitely. It spoke out to me with the education or the degree you get out of it, the everything you get from football as well, and how you can better yourself from after football, and everything about this place was amazing. How I was able to watch on TV of how they, you know, winning bowl games and everything. So yeah.
Thanks.
Ashton Pollard, you're next. Go ahead.
Junior, so you came in with a very highly touted group of linebackers in your class. How have you been getting to know them? What's your relationship like with them, and what's it like competing with them in practice already?
Oh, it's fun. Definitely be able to, build a better relationship from where we were, you know, just FaceTiming and everything. But overall, it's the connection is very strong, as everyone would think, and the future is bright for us for sure, especially with having those versatile players such as Josh, Nolan, and Jaylen Sneed, being able to play under those guys and understand how they're how versatile and their abilities are different from mine, and be able to learn from them, and they are learning from me. So yeah.
Thanks.
We're all set, Junior. Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you.